Welcome back, everybody, and thank you for joining us here once again on Instagram for another Wine Wednesday. Hey, I'm Christian Laroche, sales manager for Waldorf Wine Group, and I'm so glad you could join us here on Instagram once again. Waldorf Wine Wednesday, as the name implies, we do this every Wednesday. And we started this back in May of 2020 during the pandemic, and it was our way of pivoting online to bring you Waldorf Wine Group content online. And basically what it is it's a clearinghouse. We look at wines that we are currently bringing into the market here in British Columbia. We look at samples of wines that we're thinking of bringing into market. We'll talk about any events or any promos that might be happening, and it's a great way to keep up to date with all things concerning us here at Waldorf Wine Group. For those of you not familiar with us, Waldorf Wine Group, we were founded back in 1993. Hey, I see our good friend Graham, our man in Alberta there. Good to see you, Graham. Really glad you could join us here this week. We operate. We've been around since 1993. We were founded by Andy Waldorf, still firmly at the helm, and we import European wines into British Columbia and Alberta. And I'm telling you, if you're tired of American wines these days, check out our portfolio. Boy, we've got lots to offer you to fill those gaps right now if there was ever a great time. But seriously, we've got a really eclectic range of wines, a really cool portfolio running the gamut from small family-owned wineries like we're trying today, co-op cellars, class growth Bordeaux, high-end German Riesling, ultra-traditional Rioja, Brunello di Montalcino, Chianti Classico, organic wines, biodynamic wines, natural wines, grower champagne, everything in between, and great value at all price points. Hey, I see our good friend David Lancelot joining us. Good to see you, David. Really glad you could be here. It's always a pleasure to see you here on Wine Wednesdays. Hey, we got a cool wine this week, a wee bit off the beaten path. We have tried this before. It's a wine that we've been bringing in for a little while. I love wines like these. They're total hand sells. They're kind of geek wines. But they're the sort of wines now, especially, like I said, hey, again, if a lot of people used to be drinking, U.S. wines, and now maybe they're thinking about trying maybe something a little bit different, either from Canada or maybe from Europe, this would be the perfect time to maybe push the boat out a wee bit and try something a little bit different. And this is a little bit different. This is a little bit of an oddball wine that we have not seen, although it is really definitely gaining traction, and not just with the cool kids. A lot of people will try the wine. It's very, very unique. We're up in the far, far north of Spain. We'll pull up with a Google Earth map and show you. We're up close to the French border. We're definitely in the Basque region up near San Sebastian. This is... If you ever go there, it is total pilgrimage for tapas and food and all things delicious. It's a great place to visit. And if you ever go and do tapas in San Sebastian, this is what they will serve you. So let's flip the camera and I'll show you what we're going to be trying today. This is a wine we've brought in before, and we featured it here probably, I think the last time we featured it here on Wine Wednesday was probably back around Remembrance Day or something like that. I think it was last November. Anyway, this is the 2023 vintage that we currently have in the market. It's only available at private wine shops and better restaurants. I picked up my sample at Marquee Wine Cellars in Vancouver, and like I say, it's carried around the province. It's a bit of a hand sell. It's something that you can always ask for, but I'll flip the camera, show you what we're trying. This is Txakoli. This is Apatei Txakoli 2023 from Getariako, up about 14-15 kilometers west of San Sebastian. This is it's a cool, low alcohol, dry, slightly spritzy white wine. right up along the coast of the Bay of Biscay, very close, literally only a couple of kilometers from the seaside, and you really taste it in the wine. The proximity to the ocean really comes through in the wine. This is really cool. I used to live in Spain way back when. Had to go all the way there to meet my wife from Vancouver. And that was way back. And we traveled all around. And, you talk about terroir. Proximity to the ocean, that's another bit of terroir. You really taste the wines. I remember when we were we were in the south. We were living in Andalusia, and we would head down into the Jerez region, and we'd get down to places like Sanlúcar de Barrameda, and be drinking manzanilla, of course, which really picks up that sea salt briny tang. Same thing with this wine. You're only a couple of kilometers from the ocean, so you pick up those sea breezes coming in as the grapes grow, as the vines age, as you harvest the wine and make it, and it's sitting in the cellar too. The wine is living and breathing and picking up. Again, we've talked about this before. We talked about it with Lopez de Heredia inside the winery, and this is where the grapes are grown. This is part of the microbiome of where the wine actually comes from. So it's picking that up. Very interesting. So these wines are generally low alcohol wines, and they retain a little bit of a spritz to them. So when you go to a tapas bar, you'll see they will be poured at a height into your glass, basically to kind of agitate the wine as it goes in. So you'll see a little bit of a spritz and a little bit of suspension, I suppose, I would say, in the wine too. So it's got a little prickle, almost like a little bit of unfermented juice or captured CO2 still in the wine. It's not sparkling. It's certainly not like a cava, prosecco, or a cremant, or a traditional method sparkler, or a champagne, or anything like that. But it definitely has a wee bit of a spritz, and that's what makes this wine so great. Low alcohol, full flavor, but also that really nice spritz, and that really crunchy acidity. I use that word an awful lot. I'm used to that with our Mosel Rieslings and the like that too, where it's like biting into an apple. It really gives you that snap of acidity, and you want that, especially when you're trying a bunch of different foods, anything that's rich or greasy or anything like that too, because it cleanses your palate after each sip of wine and prepares you for the next bite of food. So these wines are great. They're fantastic wines for like tapas or by the glass. If you're in Vancouver, check out places like Como Taperia or España restaurant, who are both featuring the Apatei Txakoli. This wine is it's grown by the Zendoya family, and they actually came to wine by way of their restaurant. They're based in around Orio. I said about 14 kilometers west of San Sebastian along the Orio River. But they've been running a restaurant there for over 40 years now. And they wanted their own wine, and they started up their own winery back in 2014. So they're farming 8 hectares only a couple of kilometers from the coast. And we'll pull that up in a wee bit. The area itself, they have been growing wines for as is quite typical in Spain, for many years. And they used to produce mostly white wine, a little bit of red wine, even a bit of sparkling wine. But what ended up happening was too, as a lot of regions in Spain, late 1800s, phylloxera they had problems with. They had problems with mildew, and things got quite dire. Didn't have an awful lot of vineyards in production, and this region got, I guess I would say, resuscitated. They've changed some of their farming techniques. And it was given DO status back in 1989. And there's not an awful lot of it. around the town of Getario. This is always viewed as a region that produced wines from grapes that had a hard time reaching full ripeness, I think is how it was described. But of course, the climate's changed, things have warmed up now. So, these grapes, they ripen without any issues. The big thing with an area like this is because it is so close to the northern, it's right up on the extreme northern coast of Spain with the Bay of Biscay, and we'll pull that up shortly in the Google Earth map. Lots of rain, really, really, really wet region. And then you get also the sea breezes coming in, but it's kind of a protected region. It's a fairly mild climate, but it's very, very wet. But there's also hills right along the coast too that help to protect the vineyards as well too from a lot of those breezes coming in off the ocean. You know what? This may well be a good time. Let's flip the camera around once more. I love the label as well. While we've got it here too, it really kind of it's playful without dumbing down, but it certainly speaks to its maritime origins, I guess you'd call it. Let's pull the bottle out a shot and let's try this. Bear with me this week. I have a new monitor I'm trying out. Hey, Cubby, I see you joining us. Glad you could be here. Trying some Txakoli from Apatei and Getariako. So we're up here on the extreme north of Spain, almost at the border of France here, and we're just, like I said, just west of San Sebastian, down near the village of Orio. But here's the bodega. Like I said, quite close to the ocean, but you can see where the river comes out into the ocean. And all these hills along here, just actually north of the autoroute, help to protect the winery, the vineyards rather, here on the hillside. This is all facing southeast here, and this is the restaurant as well, and it's surrounded by the vineyards. I'm just going to pull up a shot here. This will give you a better idea. Like I said, isn't it a beautiful aspect? This is looking due southeast along the river Orio, and just going to scroll down here. But what happens is it's such a moist area. In order to protect the vines, or the grapes rather, they need good airflow. So everything is grown on pergola. So you'll see it high up, a couple of meters up above the ground, and that allows airflow here. So it helps to alleviate rot from forming. But it is a beautiful, it is a very green countryside in this northern part of Spain. But as mentioned, they started only in 2014, the Zendoya family. They were restaurateurs first and wanted to have their own wine. As mentioned, they're farming 8 hectares of vineyards, and they're all also Eco-Pro Wine certified for sustainability. This wine is made 100% from the grape Ondarabi Zuri. They've done the research on the grape, and it shares the same DNA as the Courbou grape from southwest France in the Jurançon region as well. If you go to a tapas bar, as mentioned, normally they will pour the wine in from up top, usually around 8 inches or a foot away, and let the wine splash into the glass and agitate it, so you get a little bit of a spritzy wine in itself. What else can I tell you? Fairly low alcohol. Usually these wines are anywhere between 9.5% and 11.5% alcohol, but they're very bracing, dry with that really tart acidity. This is all hand harvested. Fermentation took about 20 days. Temperatures around 18 to 19 degrees Celsius. I'm just reading off my cheat sheet here. After fermentation, the wines are stored in stainless steel tanks at only about 5 to 7 degrees Celsius to really preserve the wine's freshness and a little bit of carbon dioxide as well. And then bottling takes place pretty soon after fermentation. If I'm not mistaken, I believe the wines are tried usually around January 17th because I believe that's Txakoli Day, International Txakoli Day in the region. But great wines, really, really interesting. The other thing I'll mention about this wine, restricted speculative product, only available at private wine shops. Another thing I really like about these wines too is they're all bottled under Diam cork. And we talked about this. These are conglomerate corks. They're technical conglomerate corks. And what that means is if you have a cork tree in Portugal, normally you're waiting about 12 years or so before the bark is thick enough to make corks out of. And the old process would be you'd basically be taking plugs out of the bark once it's been stripped and taken off the tree, and you'd be left with what looked like a brick with holes in it afterwards. Well, what Diam corks are is they use the entire piece of cork and it's ground down and then it's cleansed with supercritical carbon dioxide. And what that is, it's carbon dioxide in between a gas and a liquid state. And this came about, they discovered this as a byproduct of the process used for decaffeinating coffee. And what's really cool about supercritical carbon dioxide is once you've used it, it rests in place. You can keep using it over and over again to keep cleaning the cork particles. And then once these have been cleansed, it's put together in the form of a cork, and then it's bound together with natural ingredients, beeswax and other binding agents as well too. But these are great because they really help reduce the incidence of cork-tainted wines. A lot of our producers are going to it, and a lot of people I think used to poo-poo conglomerate corks like this and think they were a little bit down market. These are fantastic. They have really, really helped to lower the incidence of flawed bottles, and that's absolutely what we need. A lot of our suppliers are moving to it. Badia Coltibuano, Chateau Couperose, our biodynamic producer in the Minervois, and several others as well too. So it's really good to see Chianetti from Piemonte and several others that we carry. So it's really, really good to see them. Kudos to Apatei and the Zendoya family for doing that. So yeah, you know what? I think this might be a good time to give the wine a try. I'm just gonna top up my glass here. As mentioned, I just flip the camera around. We are in the Basque region, about 15 kilometers west of San Sebastian, in the town of Orio, along the Orio River. This is the Zendoya family. This is the 2023 Apatei Txakoli from Getariako. It became a DO back in 1989. This is 100% Hondarabi Zuri. It's a whopping 11.5% alcohol. If you're looking for something lean and bracing, this could be your next wine. I picked up my bottle at Marquee Wine Cellars in Vancouver. And as mentioned, if you ever want to try it, España and Como Taperia are certainly carrying it, and you can try it in its element with some great Spanish fare. This might be a great time to give the wine a try. So as we can tell, young wine, pale straw color, and you can see there's still a little bit of suspension in the wine too. I just poured a little bit, so let's see. Normally this grape is not super aromatic. So it's interesting to see what we've got in the glass here today. Wow, well, for a grape that's not supposed to be on that Abizuri, that's not supposed to be super aromatic, this actually quite leaps out of the glass. I'm surprised. A lot of pear and bay leaf flavor. aromas coming out of that too. But again, I'm definitely picking up that sea salt tang, a little bit of brininess coming off this already. Let's give it a taste and see what we've got. Wow. Snap of acidity. That is really, wow, that's tart. Super briny. I'm picking up that pear again. It's leaning a little bit more towards Asian pear. Definitely has a little bit of citrus. I'm picking up just a touch of lime on there too. That bay leaf kicks in again. Light. That's a light-bodied wine, but super, super crisp and tart. It's definitely got that saline. Man, if this, this is as close as it comes, I think, to drinking an ocean breeze. Literally. I'm going to have another sip if I may. Wow, that's really tart and briny up front. It really has a silkiness in the mid-palate. Really persistent flavor, too. Nice length on the finish. Needs some food for sure. I mean, this would be great with, obviously, tapas. I think this would be great with olives or anchovies or croquetas and that sort of thing. Hey, dumplings. It's fantastic. This would be a fantastic sushi wine or pad thai or even pizza, even nachos, pulled pork, whatever's going. But I love, too, that little bit of spritz on the back end because it's so refreshing. This would be a great wine out on the patio on a hot day or just sitting and sipping around the pool or anything like that, too. We're in the Basque region. We're trying Apatei Txakoli from Getariako. This only became a DO back in 1989. There's only about 475 hectares being farmed currently in the region. It's very, very small area of production. There's only probably about 25 bodegas in and around the area of Orio and Getaria as well. But very, very cool wine. I definitely recommend it. Check it out. Like I said, a lot of several private shops and restaurants around the province. We just did a reload of this not too long ago, bringing in the 2023 vintage. So something to definitely check out. A wee bit off the beaten path, but life's too short, so we should be checking out some of these cool and unique wines. That's for sure. Especially now when, people are looking for alternatives to, perhaps to, U.S. wines that they might normally be drinking. So if you want to experiment with something a bit different, now's the time. Check out some Txakoli. What else can I tell you? Not a lot going on. We're still, got some new products, arriving, some new wines coming in from the Loire Valley. We're going to be releasing, finally our, next vintage of the Schwab Kiebel Urziger Würzgarten Auslese. It's arrived. It's just getting prepped for release. We've moved from the 1994 vintage to the 2002 vintage. Cool winery in the Middle Mosel. Very, very old school. They got a cellar full of old vintages, and we're all too happy to bring them into market. So if you're interested in anything, drop me a line. Still got a couple of cases of Lopez Heredia. It's just about out. So if you want anything, now's the time to order. Let me know. We got a couple of cases of Tondonia Reserva and Bosconia Reserva as well, but that's about it right now. We won't see another allocation probably until next year. So if you want any Lopez Heredia, now is the time to grab some. You can DM me here or drop me an email at Christian@waldorfwine.com. And that's Christian, KHRISTIAN @waldorfwine.com. Not sure what we're going to be doing next week. We'll dig into the tickle trunk. I don't know. Maybe we'll stick in Spain. Maybe we'll go back to Germany. Maybe we'll go to Italy. Maybe we'll go down to the south of France. Who knows? But come back and check us out here. And if you haven't done so already, I do invite you to follow us on Instagram. We'd love to have you join us. Like I said, we do this every Wednesday. It's a great way to keep up to date, and we'd love to have you here, okay? Anyway, I'm Christian. Take care. See you soon. Bye for now.